Corner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello and welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Moments of Clarity. My name is Tiffany Werner. I am a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're talking about the psychology and training and mental health with pets, especially primarily dogs, and how they can really help our emotional health with mental health and everything. And I call it positive information, like PAWS, positive. Yes, I will put myself out there, and I think that's so cute. So, barf.
You're proud of that one for sure.
Positive. I think I read it somewhere, to be honest, but it just stuck, and it's just so cute. Like, I'm just so happy to find ways that we can really utilize animals in a beneficial way, because they're so therapeutic. With me today is former Army canine handler and veteran, and current celebrity dog trainer from the world of dog training, and he goes by the Canine Mentalist. And I want to reintroduce my friend Ryan Matthews.
Hey there, it's so happy to be here. And if I remember correctly, where we left off is you were going to give your audience an inside look at when you were saying there's no way we can get Abby into the car. I've tried it, haven't had any luck, and I think that they would appreciate hearing, that there's hope in whatever they're dealing with their pets. Okay, so I drive this.
So for the past 4+ years, I've driven a small little car. I don't want to, for safety, I'm not going to tell them what kind, but basically barely a back seat, but there's some, and it's a convertible. And Abby's 95 pounds. Before I got the car, I had an SUV, and she could get in the back and easily, and she'll get into other people's car, but not mine. Mine's black interior. And the one time I actually picked her up and put her in, she started bucking like a deer. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, if you ever seen the movie Tommy Boy or Black Sheep or whatever, and the deer's wakes up and the antlers come through the convertible and all this stuff, that's what it reminded me of. And so I'm just she's not going to get in my car if she feels too big and maybe claustrophobic or whatever. And she refused to get in. And I mean, to the point where it was I felt like I was torturing her. She was yelping. And then even when I got her in the car, she was so uncomfortable that I knew it would be impossible to safely drive with her in there like that. And so we tried to do this because I said, that's a problem. That's something I've always wanted to take her to my office with me, and she just won't get in the car, and the dog beach too. And unless I have someone else drive her, and they're a sedan or SUV, then I can't even take her to the vet at this point because she wouldn't get in the car. So I'd have to wait for a friend to help me out or something to get her checked out and all these things, to take the vet appointments and things. And I always hated that and wanted to get a bigger car, but you get sucked into lease and buyout and all that stuff. So Ryan comes here and he's like, I can get her in the car in 2 minutes. And I'm yeah. And he's like, seriously, I know dogs. And I'm like, and I was like, bet. And I don't think we actually made a bet, thank God. So because I know, lost for you. We should have probably made that bet, but. So he gets her out to the car, and he's like, want to try to get in the car? And I'm like, well, we're kind of in a hurry. We had to be somewhere. And he's like, no, it's just going to take a second. I was like, whatever. With one attempt, she's in the car, and my jaw dropped. I actually had a tear in my eye. Because I was like, and he's trying to tell me how he did it and all this stuff. I'm like, give me a second. I need to digest this. You just did something I wish I could do for 4 years. It was one of those moments where, he didn't even realize how much that meant to me.
Yeah.
Because he kept going on and on about how, then this needs to be done and all stuff. I'm like, pause a second. I need to absorb this. I can't believe that just happened.
Pause. Did you get
pause.
That one?
Put the pause button. All these dog innuendos.
Sorry.
I know, cheesy. Okay, so anyway, but we're going to go that route. So anyway, it took me a second, and then he gives me the leash, and he's like, okay, walk to the door and just get her in the car. And I mean, it was first time. And in and out of the car, we tried about 10 times. And then I was able to drive her to my office and back in my car. So in my 2-seater, car where she was very uncomfortable before, she was and I could tell how happy she was,
right?
Because she was so excited. Like, I did it, and we went to the office and all this stuff. Because back in the day, I used to bring her when I had the SUV, and then you get into this other car thinking, oh, she'll go in, and she didn't, and so I felt kind of at a loss for years, and now it's just, I don't know. That was one of the biggest things where I honestly, unless you're like hurting her, or picking her up with a crane or something, I didn't think it was possible. Like, seriously, it was amazing, and that was probably awesome. So I called up my kids, and oh my God, have you gotten in the car? Have you gotten in the car? I'm serious, and that was just one of several things, just in 2 days that because it's not like everyone needs that done. He came to us and said, make a list of what you wish you could accomplish. And that was one of my wishes. Not every dog is afraid to get in a car, but mine was. And that was something that I wish she wasn't scared of. And that was accomplished right away.
I love that. And, so a couple of things. One is I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share my gift and my craft with you and Abby and your family. And
likewise, thank you for doing this, and
sure.
I don't know, I've always wanted, I've just from the beginning of the show 5 years ago, I wanted a canine specialist to help with emotional support animals. In the beginning of the show, that's kind of why I got her and named her Abby, like Dear Abby, like the mental health, guru of the newspaper and things like that.
Cool.
And she was supposed to be in her, like, Dear Abby thought line, and she was going to bark every time someone called in and stuff like that. And no, she just turned, it didn't work out to our benefit, let's just say. And then she never got the right training to be able to help me with my outreach, with others, with people who had phobia with dogs, other
right.
things. There's so many things that a well-trained emotional support dog can really help with others.
You had talked earlier about a bet, and maybe not in a bet, but maybe this is something that we, yourself, me, and your tribe, your audience, should all say, let's do this. And so if we can all say, moving forward, we will work towards bringing Abby into the studio someday and making that dream become a reality. Because through effort and, this program that I developed called RCTR that works to train any dog, and we've been using it, she can be here. So I would like to...
the lovely Lola, who owns this radio station, she's like, I need you for my dog, and it's back there. It's kind of, I haven't been able to bring Abby to the studio, first of all, because she won't get in my car. Wouldn't. Like, past tense.
There you go.
And then I don't know if those dogs, so before she could come, like, I just need to shake your hand, and I have this dog, It's like we all want our lovely, canine friends to be able to enjoy life to its fullest, not be kenneled, not be home alone when they can come with us to work, not walked, or not be able to walk without pulling or scaring other people by accident, or
right.
or controlling the walk. That was another big thing, is that I never, especially in high heels, straight when I got off work and I would take her out, that was just a mess. I mean, she literally pulled me down. My 8-year-old son couldn't walk her by himself because she would pull him and skin his knees sometimes. You hold on to your life, don't let go of her. And then she's dragging him, and I'm to the point where just let her go next time. That was how it went. We wouldn't let him walk her, and he didn't like that either. He wants
right.
to be the one, walking his dog too. And it's like, when you get older, but why not now?
That's right. Why not now?
Yeah.
And so that makes me think about the car situation. And I want to share with the audience kind of how we made that happen to some extent. So again, I want to inspire people to, move from where they're at to where they want to be with their pets, right?
Because it's really surprising. You would think baseball bat, fire poker, whatever that's called. I know, it's just... No, it's completely humane, and I can't believe how simple it really was with the right tools. And so please share it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. But one is that I want to just inspire people because, look, is we have this dream of what it's like to get a dog, and you had talked about that earlier. And then things happen, and then we get away from that dream and that desire that we once had as far as, oh, we're going to go to the park as a family, and the dog's going to run and play and chase butterflies or whatever that looks like, right? And then we don't know how to communicate with our pets. And then the dog starts acting up, and we don't know what to do. Right? And then so those dreams start to fizzle away, dissolve, and then they're no longer present anymore. And so I want to wake those back up in everyone that has the desire to have more from their pet, really is what it comes down to. And so what I thought was interesting and what you had shared is that for, I think it was 4 years, you're like, my dog can't go in my car.
Wouldn't.
Yes, wouldn't. And so...
Refused
to. And it's true, because I witnessed a little bit of her refusing to. And the difference,
a little bit,
yeah.
Well, yeah, but you remedied the problem right away. But imagine me not having the tools, and
right,
and she's large. She is. She's not much lighter than me. It's like and she's much stronger than me too. That's like it's just.
I can vouch. She pulled me around until I started working with her just to experience it. And you're definitely right on. She's, we could say, large and in charge, right, is what it was before we had met.
Big brown mama. Big
brown mama, that's right. And so really, I just want to, I want to encourage people, regardless of where they're at. And by the way, you can train a dog at any age. The age does not matter.
Right now, Abby's 5.
Exactly.
So I was kind of hopeless, thinking maybe it's too late. Like, this is what we've got. We just basically evolved around her because... Right. She's so sweet, and she's got such a good temperament. And I mean, the world would be like utopia if we all were sweet and thoughtful like her. But we'd all be like running around with a chick, like our heads cut off like a chick. Like Abby a week ago, if all of us had that temperament, we'd be like all speedy, nuts, like all that stuff, but very kind and sweet and loving and not aggressive to each other. So there'd be no war.
That's right. She is super sweet. And do you find that she's even a bit more confident now and even more relaxed than prior? And
proud of herself.
Right.
Because we get like, oh, good, rather than Abby, no, Abby, no, Abby, no.
She thought maybe that was her full name, was Abby, no. Like, she doesn't even think her name's Abby anymore, right?
Oh, my goodness. Probably. I mean, that would make sense, but yeah.
So the way we
Abby off, Abby no,
That's
Abby
right.
wait, Abby back.
So the way we got her into the car, for those of you wondering, was, number one, animals will provide some resistance because they don't understand this human experience, right? They don't understand backseat of a car or something like that. They don't understand the vet clinic. And so when the animal, and I believe this may work with people, you would know far better than I, when the animal resists, it's up to us to be a very clear and consistent leader to provide the guidance. And so when they resist, we support them and motivate them through it, but they cannot back out of it. Okay, so it's not a forcing, it's a guidance.
Well, it's kind of like, coincidentally, with human behavior, the resistance and everything, when people come into counseling, it's teaching coping skills, teaching the right skills to do things smarter rather than harder.
There you go.
And then the benefit comes back to us because people react to us differently when we, are more mindful, when we control our emotions, when we, can calm down and not react emotionally. I mean, it just correlates. We've been talking about this. I'm like, it's so similar. And you don't realize the structure is needed. So like even people coming out of rehab, if they're in a controlled environment and they come out, they need the tools. And then on top of that, the family needs to follow through to help them continue what they learned. And it's just this whole process is so similar. It's creepy, but on so many levels. But at the same time, I wasn't using the right tools with my dog, even though, we weren't abusive or anything. In fact, not abusive at all. So that she was the alpha.
Yeah, no correction. Because we don't...
Well, we did some. We were just doing it the wrong way.
Not for in the car, though. We didn't apply any correction in the car.
Before you came about.
Ah, right.
I'm saying my family,
okay.
we let her, because she's so sweet and everything, and she's not always out of control. It was on just certain things outside of the home. So when someone came to the door, when... guests came over and she wanted to be on them and say hi, sometimes lick their face. Not everyone likes that. And it's like down and down. And just certain things that a loving dog would do. However, they can do it the right way where it's not invasively annoying people at my house or outside of the home too. So it was kind of like we were content how she was, just disappointed